The global trade landscape shifted dramatically in April 2025. The United States, under the new administration, imposed a series of tariffs on goods from China, the European Union, and several other countries. These tariffs, some as high as 145%, are designed to protect American jobs and industries. The move has been met with condemnation from many world leaders and business groups. They argue that these tariffs will harm the global economy and lead to higher prices for consumers. The most significant tariffs are those placed on Chinese electric vehicles. The U.S. argues that China is unfairly subsidizing its electric vehicle industry, giving it an unfair advantage in the global market. The tariffs are intended to level the playing field and protect American automakers. However, critics argue that these tariffs will stifle innovation and make electric vehicles more expensive for American consumers. The European Union has also been hit with new tariffs, primarily on tech imports. The U.S. claims that these tariffs are necessary to protect American intellectual property and prevent unfair competition. The EU, however, sees this as an attack on its technology sector and has vowed to retaliate with tariffs of its own. As expected, the U.S. tariffs have sparked a wave of retaliation. China immediately responded with tariffs on American goods, targeting key exports like soybeans and aircraft. The EU has also threatened retaliatory tariffs on a range of American products, including bourbon and motorcycles. This tit-for-tat escalation has raised fears of a full-blown trade war. The impact of these tariffs is already being felt around the world. Companies are delaying investments, and consumers are facing higher prices. The International Monetary Fund has warned that the tariffs could shave off a significant percentage of global economic growth. The situation is further complicated by the ongoing conflict in Ukraine, which has disrupted supply chains and fueled inflation. South American nations, heavily reliant on agricultural exports, are particularly vulnerable. The U.S. tariffs on agricultural products from the EU have created an opportunity for South American producers. However, the overall slowdown in global trade and the uncertainty caused by the tariffs have made it a risky proposition. While the overall impact of the tariffs is negative, there are some clear winners and losers. Domestic industries protected by the tariffs, such as steel and aluminum in the U.S., are likely to benefit in the short term. However, these gains are likely to be offset by losses in other sectors. For example, American farmers are already feeling the pain of Chinese retaliatory tariffs. Consumers are undoubtedly among the biggest losers. Tariffs increase the price of imported goods, making everything from cars to clothing more expensive. This will disproportionately affect lower-income households who spend a larger share of their income on goods. The tariffs could also lead to a decrease in consumer choice as some imported products become too expensive or unavailable. The current trade tensions are more than just an economic dispute. They reflect a deeper geopolitical shift. The U.S., under the new administration, is taking a more protectionist stance, prioritizing its own interests over global cooperation. This has created a rift with traditional allies like the EU and Canada. The tariffs are pushing the world towards a more fragmented trading system, with countries forming regional blocs and pursuing bilateral agreements. This could have significant consequences for global stability and prosperity. A world divided by trade barriers is a world more susceptible to conflict and less able to address shared challenges like climate change and pandemics.